Okay. Good afternoon. We will start with our public hearings. It is 3:34 p.m. The first public hearing is 2023 through 2027 5-year consolidated plan and the fiscal year 2023 HUD annual action plan. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider public comment on the 2023 through 2027 5-year consolidated plan and the fiscal year 2023 HUD annual action plan. This is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined by Zoom, in person, emailed and comment, or mailed in comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select Board of County Commissioners meetings, hearings, and work session agendas on the right-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, you can watch through the live stream at Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Tom Webster, Senior Program Manager for the Office of Housing and Homeless Prevention, will provide information on this topic. Assuming those on Zoom wish to testify, I will read your name out loud. Then I will read names out loud from the sign-in sheet to indicate when those present in room 110 are to come forward and provide testimony. We'll scratch that part. You will have 4 minutes to testify. Time may not be given to another person. When you're called on, please state your name and address for the record. And the clerk of the board will review the timer. The public hearing is now open. Tom Webster will now present background information on the report, written comments submitted, and any additional information requested by the board. Tom.
Great, thank you, Commissioners. Good afternoon, Tom Webster, Senior Program Manager, the Office of Housing and Homeless Prevention. So we've been before you a couple times in the past few months about our 5-year HUD consolidated plan. This is a plan that's required by the Department of Housing and Urban Development for the federal funds we receive under the Home Investment Partnership Program and the Community Development Block Grant Program. So this is a plan, covers a 5-year period from 2023 through 2027. We also include our 2023 annual action plan in this process. So developing the con plan is about an 8-month process. We started last fall in this. We identify needs. We reached out to the community to provide community input, looked at our needs in our community and took other actions. We had a hearing back in April on that needs assessment. And so we're in the final stages of that plan process. We submitted a draft plan that's been out for public comment since the end of May. So we're now doing the final public hearing. We will then submit this plan to HUD by July 15th for approval. The goals that we've identified in our con plan is what we will be funding for the next 5 years will be the focus of our funding. That includes to increase affordable housing, preserve and improve existing affordable housing, provide services and assistance to improve housing and economic outcomes, and to provide public facilities and infrastructure improvements. So all the activities we fund going forward will need to fit under one of those 4 broad goals. This year for our 2023 action plan, the Community Development Block Grant funds are with the City of Lacey. So our CDBG funds rotate between the City of Lacey, the City of Tumwater, and our South County jurisdictions. So this year, the City of Lacey issued an RFP and City Council, Lacey City Council is making recommendations on the projects they would like to fund. These activities will either occur in the City of Lacey or will be primarily to benefit City of Lacey residents. So the CDBG projects they're putting forward are funding for the Foundation for the Challenge to provide housing for those with intellectual and developmental disabilities for $150,000. To Homes First to acquire an existing house to create low-income rental housing in Lacey for $338,421.50. To the Low Income Housing Institute for repairs and improvements to their Magnolia Villa property at $338,421.50. To Rebuilding Together to provide critical home repairs in Lacey for $30,000. Habitat for Humanity to also provide critical home repairs to homes in Lacey for $55,000. The Boys and Girls Club for Lacey for scholarships for low-income youth experiencing homelessness at $50,000. Catholic Community Services for their community kitchen program at $11,355. Community Action Council for their Monarch Center Child Forensic Interview Program at $60,000. And Senior Services of South Sound for their home share program at $21,000. And also funding for the Thurston County Our Planning and Administration. Under the home program, 2 projects are recommended for funding. One is for Habitat for Humanity in Yelm, the Yelm Longmire project. This is for site development and construction of 4 duplex townhomes for a total of 8 units for $500,000. And the Homes First for rental home acquisition, for acquisition of a single-family home for $425,220. I'll note that Homes First project, actually, the total award is $450,000. The balance of that funding is made up with local document recording fee funds. I'll also note that obviously the Yelm project is in Yelm. The other Homes First home-funded activity can be anywhere in Thurston County. It's not restricted to Lacey, or it can be anywhere in the county. So with that, this plan has been out for public comment for the past 30 days. We've not received any written comments as to date. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions for Tom, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions for Tom, Commissioner Menzer? Okay, no questions for me. Thank you, Tom. So with that, we will move on to public testimony. Is there anyone here who would like to provide public testimony on this matter today? No one in the boardroom? County Manager? Via Zoom?
There's nobody on Zoom.
We close.
Come again.
Emily Klaus.
Emily Klaus, would you like to provide testimony?
No public testimony from me. Thank you.
Okay. So with that, we will move into discussion. Any discussion from the board?
Yes,
Go ahead, sir.
I think Tom and his crew have done a good job.
I agree.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second,
Okay, there is a motion to close the public hearing and it's been seconded. I'll call, any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. And there are 2 motions before us.
I move to approve the submission of the 2023 to 2027 Housing and Urban Development Regional Consolidated Plan to HUD.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. And then there is a second motion for the fiscal year 2023 housing.
I move to approve the fiscal 2023 Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan and authorize the Chair of the Board of County Commissioners to sign HUD Form SF-424 and approve submission of the plan to HUD, and authorize the Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the applicable program certifications, subrecipient contracts, and amendments that do not change the approved dollar amount or duration of the contracts by more than 10%.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you, Tom. Okay, that will conclude our first public hearing. Moving on to our second public hearing. This public hearing is in regards to the 2023 Open Space Tax Program application. The purpose of this public hearing is to accept and consider public comment on the Terry application for enrollment into the Open Space Tax Program. We are addressing this at 3:43 p.m. This is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined in person by Zoom, emailed in comment, or mailed in comment. If you wish to testify, please visit the Thurston County homepage online and select BoCC meetings, hearings, and work sessions agendas on the right-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Marissa Wiseman, I'm sorry. Wiseman. See, it just. I apologize, Marissa. Marissa Wiseman, Associate Planner, will provide information on this topic. I will be calling out names for public testimony in person first and Zoom second. When you hear your name, please come forward to testify. Assuming those on Zoom wish to testify, I will read your name out loud. You will have 4 minutes to testify. Time may not be given to another person. When you're called on, please state your name and address for the record. The public hearing is now open. Marissa will now present background information of the proposed open space application, written comments submitted, and any additional information requested by the board.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good afternoon. Marissa Wisman, Associate Planner with Thurston County Community Planning, and I'm here today to hold a public hearing on the Terry Open Space Tax Program application. In review, the Open Space Tax Program, its purpose is to conserve open space lands, which the Open Space Taxation Act under RCW 8434 requires of county governments, with tax reductions granted if qualifying properties are maintained in an open space state. The board is the legislative authority pursuant to RCW 8434 to approve open space applications under this system. For the current application in review, the property is located on Spurgeon Creek Road Southeast, which lies between Rainier Road Southeast and Yelm Highway Southeast, and is immediately north of Fox Ridge Lane in unincorporated Thurston County. The applicant proposes to enroll all of their 12.84 acres in open space under the Significant Wildlife Habitat Area Resource category, and there are no residential structures nor appurtenances to exclude. The applicant proposes to maintain their property as open space for fish and wildlife habitat and to protect water resources for the citizens of Thurston County, conducting invasive plant management as needed. The subject property contains over 900 feet of Spurgeon Creek, a Type F stream, is almost entirely covered with emergent wetland, lies within the McAllister Geologically Sensitive Area District, and is also categorized as a Category 2 Critical Aquifer Recharge Area. In conclusion, the Terry property meets the criteria for enrollment under the Open Space Significant Wildlife Habitat Area category for 3 points under the Thurston County Public Benefit Rating System and for a 50% reduction in market value, based on the following factors, which are included in RCW 8434 and in the Thurston County Open Space Tax Program guidelines. The property contains Type F stream and wetland habitat, which are known to support a Critical Areas Ordinance important species. The wetland covers the majority of the property, and the applicants have submitted supporting documents with their application, which include a habitat management plan created by a qualified biologist who assessed the site. The Planning Commission held a work session and public hearing on April 5th and May 3rd, 2023 on the current open space application and unanimously recommended approval of the application. The board held a work session on May 24th and agreed to set this public hearing. Notice of the public hearing was published in the Olympian on June 11. A webmail announcement was sent to the Community Planning Division's email listserv on June 8, and a press release was issued on June 12, as well as notification letters to all neighbors within 500 feet of the applicant's parcel. Thurston County Community Planning updated the website with all available documents being considered at this hearing. As of today, no public comments have been received. Commissioners, this concludes my remarks, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Commissioner
No
Edwards?
questions, thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No, ma'am.
No questions
Thank
from
you,
me?
Commissioners.
Okay, so we'll go into public testimony, and there's no one in person.
What I have on the Zoom screen is Ms. Emily Claus, like to provide testimony in this public hearing.
No testimony from me. Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude public testimony.
Okay. Any discussion on this item?
Yeah, I think that we better hurry up and pass this through. It's too good to be true almost. I don't understand how come this gentleman doesn't get more points, but I'm sure there's little technical things in the way. But I'm glad to see folks that step forward and put their property aside like this. Thank you.
Yeah, I would agree. We've seen a half a dozen or so of these come through, and we see pictures and, you know, stuff. I mean, this one looks about as valuable in terms of you know, all the different environmental considerations as anyone I've seen. So I think this will be a good move for us.
Thank you. Thank you to staff for their work on this, and it's interesting. Usually we see one per year, and then we've seen two this year, and I'm not sure if there's going to be more, but you know, thank you for the process that you'll handle this. And we heard last week from another application that came through and community input. So just very appreciative of the work that goes into it. Okay, with that, are we ready to close the public hearing?
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards,
Aye.
Commissioner Mensah,
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia,
Aye. And there is a suggested motion. Are commissioners ready to move forward?
I would move to approve the enrollment of the 12.84 acres as open space for the current use assessment.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to thank Marissa. She's done a great job on this.
Okay, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards,
Aye.
Commissioner Mensah, Commissioner Mejia.
Aye. Okay. So with that, we will adjourn. Thank you, Marissa. It is 3:50 p.m.